So, I guess my winding path is quite winding because on paper, I should not be in the position that I'm on. Like it doesn't make any sense because I guess if we go back to kind of where my career started, I'm less than 10 years into my career. I left school 4 years ago, my undergrad. So when I was in university, my degree is in actuarial science, which is math, like not environmental at all. But right, actually in school, I started working at TD. So I was working at the bank for a number of years and kind of realized that maybe financial institutions are not my passion. But I had a friend that I was working with at the time who was really getting into zero waste, into like plastic free living, all of the personal things that we can do to help save the planet. Because while maybe our jobs were not the most environmentally friendly, we were hoping we can kind of offset it by being advocates in our personal lives. Um, so at the time when I realized that zero waste living was a thing and like it's really hard to actually participate in because this was in 2018 when it was getting more popular, but it wasn't as widespread as it is now. I realized there are lots of people who want to live more sustainably, but maybe don't have access to it. They don't have a refill store near them. So that's when I started my first e-commerce website, which was called Hera and Co. And you can imagine it as basically like this virtual refill store. So you'd go online, order a liter of shampoo. I would take the TTC after work with jars and totes to my customers' houses and drop them off and then go home at the end of the day. And so it was quite a labor intensive job I gave myself after work. But through that experience, kind of as Anela alluded to at the beginning, this informed a lot of the work that we're doing now because there are lots of people who want to start businesses in this space. And having done it myself for a year and a half, literally pretty much every single day, taking jars to people's homes, taking empties back, washing them at my warehouse facility. Um, it just became very obvious all of the barriers that existed for people who wanted to start businesses and be sustainable about it, because that's not the traditional way of doing business. So through that very exhausting experience, I completely burnt myself out because I was working full time and only doing this on evenings and weekends. And we had, I guess, I think the first year we did like 30,000 in revenue, which is like pretty good for an evenings and weekend thing, but that also means there's a lot of deliveries to be sent out. So I kind of had a moment in the beginning of 2020 that I realized like my position, I think, is more to connect businesses and help find people who can do this together instead of doing it all myself, because no one can do it all themselves. So I really wanted to do that as my job, which is what Impact Zero became. So I shifted over from the for-profit space to the nonprofit space. And now we're connecting businesses and piloting all of these cool, innovative startups. And even in those pilot projects, like connecting companies who can support each other. Like say when I was doing Hair & Co., if I could hire out a washer and if I could hire out someone who could do the pickups and drop-offs for me, knowing that you need reverse logistics to get things back from customers, like the empty jars, that would have made my life a lot easier. So I'm trying to help other people do that now.